So who's doing the intro?
I thought you were doing the intro.
Oh, well, how am I doing the intro?
I don't know, I'm not editing this, so everything that you say, it's gonna be in there.
Alright, hello, this is EXP Gamers with only 2 people because everybody else is lame and left.
Because Neo is going on a family vacation, and we have no idea where Joe is. Joe probably drove off a cliff and activated his jetpack and is flying away somewhere, but we don't know. He hasn't
Maybe.
called us yet, so...
Nope. So it's just Zena
And
and...
Flair. So in this lovely video episode loggy thingy-mabob, we're going to be reading Zena's work. Yep. Or we could just stalk Zena and watch her work, but that'd be kind of creepy. So we're just gonna read her work.
Yeah, trust me, I already have enough stalkers, I don't need any more.
You only have 4, so...
Wait, which 4?
I don't know.
I know I have 2 of them at the flea market.
And then Neo and me. Jeez, God, you didn't count us?
Oh, sorry. Hi, I didn't know my friends were stalking me now.
So... yeah. You gonna read?
Am I reading or are you reading?
Who's reading? We're all reading.
There's scene breaks in it, so we can read to a scene break and then we can switch off.
Okay, we'll do that.
So,
So,
I don't have a title for it yet, so if anybody wants to put a suggestion for a name, that would be awesome. So, yeah.
yeah.
Am I reading first?
No, you're reading first, because it's your work. Ha ha ha.
Okay, guess. Alright, let's see here. Are you going to follow along?
Yeah.
Okay. She looked at him from the corner of her eye, glaring with her hazel eyes. She slowly drew her blue-bladed claymore from its sheath on her back. He stared back with his light brown eyes, readying his large broadsword. She was first to move, seeming to glide across the ground as she moved toward him, sword held high and ready to slash down with blinding speed. But he seemed to be a step ahead of her, and he narrowly missed being hit by the biting blade. The steel rang as it struck the ground with such force it jarred Maze's teeth. She growled and with a swift movement swung her sword up and to the left, lightly cutting his arm as he came to a stop from dodging her first attack. He swung his blade at her as she smiled in a small victory of finally cutting him. She dipped low, going under the blade as it swung over her head. Or swung for her head, sorry. I cannot read today. He glanced and he glared and swung his sword low. I'm almost done reading. But she simply jumped over it and jumped off the flying blade over and behind him. She spun as she landed behind him and jabbed her claymore into his side. He yelled in pain as the blade slid between his ribs and cut his side open. She pulled her sword free from him and jumped back as he jerked to the left and tried to grab for her. She smiled in another small victory, but did more damage than the last. He gritted his teeth as he swung for her again, as he tried to ignore the pain and the gushing blood from his side. She simply took a step back at his failed attempt and realized his sword was too short to hit her from the distance between them. She smiled as he realized his mistake and overswung, exposing his other side to her. In a flash, she took the opportunity to slide... Wait, I lost my spot. Oh, to slice open... Wait.
Slash his other
Opportunity...
side open.
Yeah, open. This time breaking 2 ribs as she twisted the sword after sliding the blade into his side. He again yelled in pain and dropped to his knees. The pain was now too much to ignore. She slowly walked to where he kneeled and stood 2 feet from him. She laughed and looked down at him. Pinned you again.
Do you want me to go? Or no?
Sure, go ahead.
He gritted his teeth and smiled. Yeah, guess. Yeah, did. But don't get used to it. She laughed. Too late. I've already won 5 times out of 6. She smiled at another victory. She extended her hand to him. He looked at it, and then took it. Within seconds, his wounds began to heal. He stood and seemed to tower over her. He stood at 5'11", while she only stood at 5'5". She seemed... Blah, 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 blah. She smiled at him, and turned and began to walk away. Better luck next time, Xavier. He glared after her and followed her. Well, who said I won't be the one to slice you up next time? With a few strides, he was walking next to her. He then slowed his pace to keep next to her. She smiled and looked at him from the corner of her eye. Good luck. You'll never catch a wolf off guard very easy, so I highly doubt that you'll be able... Blah, blah, blah. You will be able to like I did to you. She looked ahead of her and continued to walk. Xavier looked ahead of him. And then... Oh my god, I lost my place. And then to her, from the corner of his eye, once he was sure she was not watching him, he lunged for her and began tickling her. She screamed in surprise. Damn it, Xavier, not fair. He only laughed as he continued to tickle her after pinning her down. She tried to fight him, but he was too strong. Finally, what did you write this in? Just curious, because this is not normal format.
I don't know. I just randomly wrote it, quite literally.
I know, but what program? Because this isn't right format.
We're Microsoft Starter.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Yep. Finally, after 3 minutes of tickling, he lets her up?
Oh, whoops.
He let her up.
Yes.
She sits up and growls at him. So not cool. I will get you back for that. Just you watch. She stood and brushed the dirt and grass from her light blue jeans and lime green tank top. Xavier stayed on the ground on his knees. Well, he only laughed. She walked over to him and pushed him over, then walked away, readjusting the large sword on her back, and glanced at him from the corner of her eye. He stood up and brushed the dry leaves from his side and ran after her. Expecting him to tackle her again, she ran, but with his added height, he quickly caught up to her. Before he could do or say anything, a loud roar came from above the both of them. They both came to a sudden stop and looked up just in time to see a large green flying figure overhead. Name. How do you want me to pronounce it?
Neza.
Neza?
Mm-hmm.
Neza smiled and pushed Xavier a bit, grabbing her long, heavy black coat and ran after the figure. Ran after the figure? That doesn't seem right to me, but okay. It landed 10 feet from where they were fighting, and turned to face Neza as she ran to meet the great dragon. The dragon looked at the young girl with large violet eyes and dripped her head as Neza...
That dripped?
I said dripped because I'm a horrible person. As Neza rushed up to greet her with a soft pat on her muzzle, she answered her greeting with a deep, unthreatening growl. How was the hunt, Sigera? The dragon blinked once and made a satisfied growl. Your turn.
All right. Am I reading through the scene break?
No.
Yes. No? Okay.
You're reading from the satisfied growl.
No, I know, but am I reading through the scene break to the next one?
I don't know, up to you. We'll just switch off whenever we feel like it.
Okay, whatever. Xavier walked up behind Neza as she hugged the large muzzle of the green and blue dragon. Sigera watched his every move as he slowly walked up to her and her rider. Neza turned to face Xavier, and Sigera let out a small warning growl to Xavier as he came within 7 feet of them. He stopped and bowed low to Sigera, showing her he meant no harm. After a reassuring touch on her muzzle from Neza, her growls faded to a low rumble in her chest. Neza looked at Xavier. Well, it is time we leave, and assuming Jaster needs us back in town, things have taken a turn for the worst, as Sigera informs me. We can do more training next week, depending on how soon things can be taken back into our power. Xavier looked at Sigera and smiled a bit. Take care of her, will you? Sigera huffed and growled a bit. Wow, I can't read anymore. Neza climbed onto her back, and with two powerful beats of her wings, they were in the air and headed north to Feshon. Xavier stood looking as Neza and Segura faded into the distance. He crossed his arms and sighed, then looked down and slowly turned and walked back to his camp. Scene break. So now
Scene
we're
break. Really?
yes.
Really? Huh?
So now we're with a new character. This one's my favorite, to be honest.
So you want to read it or you want to tag?
I'll read it. You can read the next one. Um, Silently pawing through the woods, a man pulled his furs closer around him as the cold air threatened to freeze his lightly tanned skin. His gaze flashed to the sky as his acute ears picked up the sound of something flying overhead, something very large and not always friendly to his kind. He climbed into a nearby tree and that stretched high above the others. I need to take that tree out, the other trees, and change it to just others. As he neared the top, he seen a flash of green and blue fly past.
Shouldn't it be? Oh, I'm confused. Never mind.
As he neared the top, he seen a flash of green and blue fly past. He ducked his head in time to miss a large spiked tail carelessly flowing behind the great figure. As he looked at the figure, he caught a glimpse of something that told him that the beast is friendly, as long as the rider was going to allow him near. A smile crept over his face, and he raced down the tree into the gates of the town on the wood's edge. He reached the gates at the same time the 15-foot-long green dragon with a blue underbelly to help it be less noticeable from below. Great violet eyes glared at him as he stalked up to her as a slim young girl slided gracefully down the foreleg of the great dragon. The girl's silver wolf ears blended into the skyline behind her until he was only 10 feet from the girl. If he did not know any better, he would have mistaken her for a normal girl with her light blue jeans and lime green tank top and long black coat. What gave away that she was not as soft as she looked was the 4-foot-long blue-bladed blade strapped to her back. She smiled a bright smile as he bowed before the dragon and looked at the girl. Hello, Neza. It is good to have you back in Fishon. We have been in need of your skills. You can read until the scene break. Or whenever. I don't care.
Whenever you don't care, huh?
I don't care.
You don't care about waffles?
I do care about waffles, so read.
Fine. I guess.
Or I can read again.
Neza slid down Segura's foreleg and heard a light growl emanating from deep in her chest. She looked at what was calling Segura's growl and saw a tall man walk up to them. He was dressed in dark jeans and a black shirt. He had the skin of a black bear hanging over his shoulders, and the hood was the bear's head. The skins made him seem larger than he was, and it showed his strength in being able to walk so powerfully with heavy skins.
Upon him. I need to fix that.
It says upon him.
I know. I need to fix it.
I didn't know you were poning people, Brandy.
Just read.
He smiled a bright, shy smile, his ice blue eyes showing he meant no harm to them. His dark brown hair had grown to a length that had covered his eyes to where it is almost as hard to see the brightness of them. She could not help but smile as he bowed before Segura, showing his respect for the great dragon. She quickly hid her childish smile as he stayed bowed, but lifted his head to look at Neza. A slight smile on his thin lips. His deep voice always took Neza's breath away for a second when she first heard it. Hello, Neza. Good to have you back in Feshon. Is that how you say it? Feshon? Fishon. Fishyhan.
Feshon.
It's Fishy Town.
Whatever.
That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Fishy Town.
I will kick you.
We have been in need of your skills. She did a small bow and returned and allowed a smile. A small smile should. Oh my god. A small smile to show. Good luck. Good to be back. Garrick?
Jarek.
Jarek. Wouldn't it be a J then? I don't
I
know.
guess.
Garrick. Jarek.
Jarek. It's Jarek.
Jarek.
Reed.
Where's Jaster? Jarek straightened and walked closer. He stood 4 feet from her, and she could smell the sweet smell of the sweet smell of sweat on his prone body. I give up. Okay, where am I? I lost my place. These S's are gonna kill me. Smelled the sweet smell of pine on him. She took a deep breath and allowed the smell to relax her. He waved a hand to the gates over 15 yards from them. He's in the dining hall waiting. I can escort you if you would like. Page break. Tag.
Tag? Okay, I guess. Jarek walked closer to Neza and stood 4 feet from her. He instantly felt the heat from Sagara as she stared him down, but he reminded himself that she was more relaxed around him than Xavier. And as she looked at Neza, a sense of relief overcame him as he smelled a slight smell of clean air and lavender from Neza. He can smell mountains on Sagara. Oh, he could smell the mountains on Sagara. He waved to the gates. He's in the dining hall.
Hey, can I ask a question? What does mountains smell like?
No, like the...
I'm just wondering.
Oh, I need to describe that a lot better. Like...
No, because mountain air is just like clean air. So wouldn't it just be easier to say clean air instead of mountains?
I know, but I need to find a better way to describe that. This is just like a really, really rough draft.
Oh, sure. That's why it's almost like everything's perfectly spelled and whatnot.
Actually, I guess. I don't know.
You make my writing look bad.
Whatever, mine's not even...
Okay, anyways, let's continue.
Anyways. He waved to the gates. He's in the dining hall waiting. I can escort you if you would like. She smiled a bit and nodded. Yes, please. Fashan is big, but not big enough to fit Sagara, sadly. Well, not with much room for the others to walk at least. She laid a slight hand on Sagara's side. She rumbled in agreement. He pulled the bear hood over his head and got on his hands and knees. He could feel his bones and skin change to take the form of the bear skin he wore. And within the minute he was fully changed into the skin of a full-sized black bear. On all fours he stood at 4'7", but standing he was 7'3", well, 7 feet 3 inches tall. He looked at Neza with his new bear eyes. Whoa, that sounds weird. With his new bear eyes, and let out a small roar.
What kind of bear eyes? Are they just bear?
No.
I know.
Informing her he was ready.
Okay. Tag.
This one's kind of long. Did you want to read it? Until the next scene break?
Yeah, tag me.
Okay, tag. Tag your...
So, I just have a question.
Uh-huh.
What do bear eyes look like?
They're supposed to be his, like, now that he's in his bear form, he's looking at her through his...
I also have another question. Why are we reading Animorphs?
Why not? Because they're awesome.
Animorphs is a great show. We segue too much.
This is the first time I have ever written about somebody using skins to change into a different form.
Okay, Animorphs. Anyways, I segue too much.
Segue. Anyways, you read.
I'll edit most of this out. I'll make it seamless, maybe.
Just read. Neza watched.
Neza watched in awe as he changed from human to a large black bear in seconds. She loved how he could change to any animal as long as he wore the skins for that animal. She loved to watch him change. It did not look as painful as her changing was. She walked to Sagara. Wait, why was she watching herself change?
No. Changing to her wolf form.
But, okay.
I'm telling you, I'm not done with it. I still have a lot to add into it.
She walked to Sagara and climbed up her Wait, isn't Sagara outside?
They're outside.
I thought they went inside.
Not yet.
I don't pay attention.
Apparently you don't. Read.
She walked to Sagara and climbed up her foreleg after this name is gonna give me the horrible time because the G.
Jarek. I'll change it to a J. Jeez.
I still want to say Gurik. Gurik. Grr. Jarek gave his ready roar. Sagara slowly followed behind. She did not have to slow her normal pace, for Garrick was... Oh, I said it again.
You said that on purpose.
No, I didn't. I just was reading. The G's gonna mess me up every time, because that's how it's pronounced, is Garrick.
I know, I'll change it to a J, because it's supposed to be pronounced Jarek.
Was able to easily stay ahead of them at a slow jog. As they reached the gate, Sagara laid down so Neza could gracefully jump down and land next to... Jarek.
I'll say his name for you from now on.
He eyed her with... Why is he eyeing her? He's like staring at her with his eyes wide open.
Just to read. Oh my god.
With his bright blue eyes. Goodbye for now. Wait. Did I skip something?
You skipped an entire line.
With his bright blue eyes and roared lightly, then nodded to his back. Nessa looked at Sagara and rubbed her muzzle in a silent goodbye for now way. Climbed. It should be climbing.
Whatever. Like I said, this is just a rough.
Okay. This whole time I've been trying to make you go into like past tense, and this whole time you've been present tense. This one word is past tense.
Just read.
Climbing onto Jarek's back. Damn it. No, I said it right. Wait.
Yes, you did. You said
good.
You said Jarek.
I don't know. He did not stand very high, but he was strong enough to hold half an army on his back. Whoa, that's a lot of people. Are they wearing armor or?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
He proved that in the last battle they fought in together. He had to carry over a dozen armored men to the infirmary tent and quickly without injuring them further. As she settled behind his these S's are gonna kill me. Shoulder blades. She buried her fingers into his thick black fur. She's like digging her nails into his fur. Like,
She has to get a hold so when he's running she doesn't fall off. You're like nitpicking. You're nitpicking.
No. I'm picking the nit. There's a difference.
You're nitpicking. You're taking my story apart.
I'm taking your story literally. She took another deep breath and... Whoa, that sounded wrong.
Just read. Oh my god.
She took another deep breath and relaxed. He began to walk. I'm not going to say anything. She slowly adjusted to sit more comfortably for her.
I hate you.
And for him to be able to walk with more ease. Tag.
I hate you.
Tag.
You're making this seem worse than it actually is.
It sounds worse. She took another deep breath and relaxed. And he began to walk. She adjusted to sit more comfortably for her. The dining hall was in the middle of a large city next to the city's owner's... City owner...
Do you want me to read?
No. Or the master's hall, as many would call it. Wait, I combined soon and he and made she. Yes! Soon he was going from a light walk to a slight jog, and to a slow-paced run. Wait, I skipped a line. Where am I?
You didn't.
Slow-paced run. No. Neza held. Should be held. On.
Neza's hold.
Wait, what?
Neza's hold on his fur tightened.
Oh, I'm retarded. But quickly released, not wanting to hurt him. But you want to dig your nails into him.
Oh, God.
Jarek remained silent the whole run until they reached the hall. He came to a slow stop and Neza crawled awkwardly off his back. He tried to hold back a growling laugh as she skipped to avoid falling, but she did not lift her leg high and... What?
when she, oh my god, you're you're butchering this so bad.
Fine, then you go. Tag.
He tried to hold back a growling laugh as she skidded to avoid falling when she did not lift her
It says
leg high.
skipped.
Skipped, whatever.
You're
He
you're
skipped.
telling me that I butchered it, and you
Yes,
are
but
butchering it
you're
more, and you typed this. I have never read this before,
me. I haven't really read it through either.
but you typed it.
Yes, but doesn't necessarily mean that I remember exactly what I wrote. Anyways, skipped to avoid falling when she did not lift her leg high enough to get over his back. When she regained her balance, Jarek changed to a human, pulling the bare head off of his head. And he had a slight smile and still held back the childish laugh. His smile grew as Neza looked at him, glaring fiercely, but soon she laughed with him. Neza could not glare at him for too long. She knew how hard he was trying to hold back a laugh. She realized she had not heard him laugh since the war began 3 years ago. Oh my god. As soon as she let out
Stop making
a light
noises.
laugh, blah, 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 blah. I was trying to clear my throat because. Grr.
Garrick.
I will punch you. Soon she let out a light laugh escape her, and soon they were both leaned on each other and tried to catch their breaths from laughing so hard. It felt good to laugh again after all the killing and stress they had been through in the past 7 months non-stop. She wiped a tear from her eye and looked at Jarek, who did the same. They looked at each other. Looked at each other for a moment, then pulled away and smiled a bit. Jarek waved at the door. Shut
I'm
up.
gonna say every single time.
After you, lady. He bowed a bit and followed behind her as she headed for the door.
Of course, he followed
As
behind her.
I'm done reading now.
I'm just saying, no guy wants to go first. That's why the door is always held open for girls. Because of reasons.
You're making this way worse than it actually is. As they neared the door, he rushed before her to open it. Again, he waved her through first. Neza nodded to him and smiled slightly as she looked at the ground as she walked. Blah, 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 blah.
You have a lot of as.
I do.
Smiled slightly as she looked at the ground as.
She walked.
Smiled slightly as she looked at the ground. Walking then up to the dim light of the large hall. That sounds a lot better.
Whatever. You read then.
No, fix it. I'm telling you how to fix it.
I'll fix it later.
You're not gonna remember later.
Probably not.
Gurrick walked behind her, smiling slightly after seeing her. I wanted to say blue, and I knew it wasn't blue, so I stopped. Seeing her blush slightly as he damn it.
Should we stop reading?
Maybe we should.
Okay, we'll finish it later.
No, we won't. I know we won't.
Probably not.
Okay, so this will be part 1. We will talk to you guys in the future. Yep, future.
Oh, and don't tell Joey and Neo about this video. It's a secret. Shh.
Yes, if you see Neo jetpacking, give him a note and make it say IOU. He won't understand the inside joke, but we will. Okay. Anyways, this is Flair and Zena, possibly signing off. Possibly. Are we?
Yeah, I have to go.
Alright. We are ended.